All right, back out here in the ZRT. See if we can get this tank off here before the kid gets off the bus. I'm going to start here at the shutoff valve for this fuel line. I'm going to cap it. Disconnect at the top here where that clamp is. Got a 1/4-inch bolt, going to stick it in there, and then I'll start on, pretty sure it's these screws here. And in the trunk, couple bolts. I think there's a connector under the seat there for the wire for the head, for the tail light back there. Yeah, fuel line done first. All right, fuel line's off and capped there. I also razor knifed off that one there. That one was oh, there you can see the nipple on the other one. It's a straight down one. Yeah, shut off valve there. All right, let's take a look at these seat bolts back here. Okay, look a little rusty. See how those go. Kind of hard to see in there. Those bolts actually came loose pretty easily. Maybe that's how I got into using NICs. Can't remember. I know I've recovered this thing twice. I got it, had the original cover. I can't remember what cover I put on it after that. It didn't last long. It split right here in these seams. And this one, I must have did, that trail permit shows 16. Must have been shortly before that. Probably getting this thing ready, but it's loose. Gonna go after those screws here and get this thing popped out of there. Take back that NIC's comment. There, that left side one was pretty, obviously seen it there, it's pretty rusty. All right, they're out. I think that's it. From what I remember, I think it should just pop out of there. So, watch me ride the struggle bus here, see how easy it goes. All right, let's go for it, see what happens here. There. Come to Papa. Come to Papa. There's about a 1/4 tank in there. It's heavier than you'd think. There's a split. A little bit tight. There we go. How about the breather hose? Man, don't break that fitting. Hey, breather hose gets shorter and shorter. show you where that feeds through there. Fuel line there feeds between the air boxes. There's that breather. There's that plastic fitting I was worried about breaking. But, yeah. There she is. I believe this is a 10-gallon tank. Guess it's under a quarter. Definitely got some weight to it though still. Only a few gallons in there. It's a good time to look over this stuff under here. These are, I've never changed those. I'm probably not gonna. They look fine. Well, I hope I don't have to. Be a shame to put it all together and they go, I got a leak there. Those ones will be original too. It looks like I was in here at one time. Thumb warmer issue or something, heated grips there. I remember that this thing was a mouse house sitting at my parents' for years. So when I moved back, I drug it out of there. It was, like I said, that sticker says 16 on it, so it was in that time frame. Once the kid came, it got parked. So, yeah, getting it back in action here. I think that's gonna be it. She's getting off the bus soon. All right, finally back on the ZRT. Let's get the tank back on. Carbs on, obviously, whatnot. Yeah, it seems like the post office takes forever nowadays. Usually it took a week or a little week and a half. It's taking me, 2-3 weeks to get fuel line. It's nuts. I had some, but not enough. So I ordered some up and just held off on doing this. But yeah, it's there's a tank. It's all cleaned up, ready to go. Let's get a piece of fuel line on there and get it put back in. All right, got a new piece of line on there. Stuck that on there to keep out debris. Gotta get this magnet here. Grab that spark plug that's in the belly panel before I forget about it. Yeah, the light will help too. All the little things you forget about. Step away from something for a while. Sometimes you lose motivation, sometimes you're just losing parts in the mail. Down in there. There we go. Now this is going to be a game of cat and mouse here. I see it now. Probably why I was down there so long. Never give up, right? All right, enough clowning around. Not sure if hose was better back in the 90s compared to what we're getting now. Also, I like using those for cutting. But this hose still feels good, just like the one that was inside the tank still seemed good. And that's a pretty long mess of hose there that I'm not replacing if I don't need to. It's a whole mess there. I mean, it doesn't need to be that long, I don't think. But yeah, gotta hook up the tail light here. That'd be bad. But yeah, trim that off there because that did get cut or split to get it off the fitting for the breather. All right, it wasn't fit through with that clamp on that screw there. You can see you might not be able to see it. Kind of see how it goes under the jack shaft. There's some witness marks where the line was laying. I'm probably gonna put some loom on this thing too. This fuel line, put a little of that black loom on there. A little preventative chafing. All right, actually went back and looked at some pictures to make sure that was routed right. And it is routed like that. I got some loom on it now. So that's how it was routed last time. Let's get this breather on and get the tank in here. Plenty of loom too. See it poking out down there. All right, taillight's hooked up. Breather's hooked up. Fuel line's hooked up. Not messing around, right? Let's get this thing shoved in there. May take a bit. We'll see. May go right in. May right strong bust. I wonder how that was routed, just right along there. The hot hoses on. I guess that's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Skating away on me. Try not to break anything in here. There's a little plastic. Hey, we're winning. Shit. Peek under here. Hard to see. Okay, the harness kind of goes like that then. Get some screws in it. All right, tank's on. Real quick, see in there, see that fuel line? That was pinched. I had to pull the tank back off and reroute that and keep it from getting pinched. Story time. I once bought a 1980 Scout on the cheap. They couldn't get it running, they built carb, whatnot. They'd had the tank down, went to the tank. It had sat for so long. I went to go drop the tank, and found the pinched fuel line, feeds, main fuel line to feed carb, pinched on the tank, skid plate, and the frame. So yeah, pay attention to that stuff. The way that thing was folded, that would have got me. I'd been pulling on this thing and nothing would have been happening. All right, got the mag side carb on. Not gonna film each carb. Would be here for a while. But they're in there tight. I got the center one in, but not installed all the way. Basically, getting it in the boots with the slide and cap off, and the choke is off. Once I get it installed, do the choke, then I do the slide, then the fuel line, and then hook up the icing switch. I've been using this cotter pin hook here basically to work around the boot, like get the boot half started there. Like get it in here first on the engine side, like started on the engine side, then get it kind of cocked in here towards this area. Then use the cotter pin hook around about halfway to kind of get it to fit back over. They're in there kind of crammed. Triple pipes, triple carbs, triple troubles. All right, well, real quick here, last carb's almost in. And that one appears to have a new lock tab. The other one's been replaced. The lock tab I'm talking about is, that light's making it terrible. You can kind of see it there. But there's a raised portion of the carburetor there. Kind of see it right there. Anyhow. All right, probably see it down over there. It's a 12 millimeter, fits that the best. Like I said, there's a raised portion of the carburetor that keeps that lock tab retained at the base there. All right, let's get sliding. Last one. Pretty basic, we're gonna mention it. That cutout there on the carb, be on the right side of the body. This side's where your idle screw is. That screw there, it's got a ramp side. All right, as usual, it took a little longer than you think. Fuel line's all plumbed in. Got a little filter down there. We talked about that. Yep, the filter in down there, but yeah, she's tight in there. Yeah, gonna pull on it for a little bit, pull the plugs out, check for spark, dump some gas in the tank, get it primed up. I got some pre-mix over here. Put that down each cylinder, and then I'll get the hood on before I go start it. Yeah, very close, getting there. All right, get the hood back on. Been pulling on it. Appears to have no spark. Got a headlight. I've ran without hoods before on other sleds. I had the hood off and I had no spark. Put everything back on, still got no spark. I don't know if I got a throttle switch maybe, possibly a kill switch. I'm gonna try one of these apparatuses. I'm having trouble seeing it too when I'm pulling on it. Got plugs laying there. It's like you're a mile away from the thing, you know? So I'll try this cheap thing on here and see if I can see a light with that. Maybe that'll help. Well, nothing lighting up on that apparatus. Got no headlight either now when I'm pulling it. So these are a bitch to pull over to, these triples. I was pulling a lot easier with the plugs out. I'm gonna take the other plugs out. Yeah, try that. Sure if you'll be able to see this or not, but it is, I got that thing to spark up. Yep. That'll show up or not. Have a look closer maybe. There you go, how about that? Headlight, something's happening there. So let's give her a try. Dump a little pre-mix down the cylinders to see what happens. All right, just want to hear it bark. That's all I'm asking. Let's hear it bark. That's a good sign. I'll take it. Yes. That was weird. Yeah, I'm gonna jerk on a few. I'm gonna give it a few more pulls. Yeah, either way it doesn't sound right. All right, let's give it another shot. Come on now. Nothing, huh? Barked a minute ago. Ooh, almost. was checking the chain case oil there. Look too bad. I think I changed it before I took it for a ride years ago, but it's there, so that's good. Thinking that. Change chain case oil, new belt. Yeah, we'll go from there. All in all, not too bad. Didn't have much fuel line after that. Definitely good thing I ordered more. Wouldn't have had enough to do it. There's the old stuff. Get a little spray wax. Rubbing compound where I took the stickers off, but there she is, man. She's looking good, all shined up. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, new belt. Look over the skid, you know, grease it, and that'll be it, man. Get a vintage registration for it. She's vintage era now, and ride it. Been sitting far too long. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Feel free to drop a comment, like, or subscribe. I think that's about it for this one. Got another project coming down the line here, a little, you know, DT 100 action. But yeah, take her easy. Have a good weekend. Later.